The soul is comfortable with uncertainty.
So think about that. The best line you should remember. The soul loves, it knows that it can have access to any truth and wisdom at any time, from any dimension, at any time. The soul loves uncertainty.
Which means that it's embracing all possibilities.
Yes. Suzanne, you rock! That's totally.
The other thing is the soul is eternal, so why not?
Correct. But the ego needs to know they're being controlled. But the more uncertainty, the greater the evolution of our being. I know that sounds really odd, but the more you throw yourself in, don't throw yourself in front of the bus, but the more you are, big line. Yeah, totally. This should be on your mirror on your bathroom to remind you every day. The soul is comfortable with uncertainty. Go.
It accepts that you can be in two places at once, time and eternity. It observes cosmic intelligence at work and is not bothered that the creative force is outside the universe. The soul's comfortable with uncertainty. It accepts that you can be, I wrote that twice.
Yeah.
It's really good, though.
It's very good.
Yeah. At the quantum level, the field of consciousness just ripples and vibrates. It doesn't change location. Our soul begins at this quantum level. Our soul is whole, complete, and perfect. In India, they believe that the soul has two parts. One part is involved in action. It is affected by our good and bad actions. It rules our conscious, and all the seeds of karma are planted within it. It's pure spirit. It never reaches God because it never left. This is how we remember ourselves as pure spirit. We could think of the soul as a junction point between density and unlimitedness. I like that part.
Mm-hmm.
We could think of the soul as a junction point between density and unlimitedness. Soul work never stops.
Does everybody understand that? Right? So when you feel dense, your mind says immediately, I'm in control, game over. But the soul doesn't have a problem with density. It knows there's a range between density and infinity. That's why it likes uncertainty. Does everybody understand that? So could it be that sometimes when you feel dense, that in actuality you're feeling the range, right? So I learned at 90% that I felt density, that I was misinterpreting, and if I stayed in that current of energy, that I would go from density and I would feel this entire reign of infinity at the same time. So often when you are in a situation and you feel the density, just say 1 ringy-dingy, 2 ringy-dingy, 3 ringy-dingy, 4 ringy-dingy, 5. You just wait until the rest of it fills in. And this is what happens to most people. And the ego says, oh, density, game over, and emotions kick in. Go.
Soul work never stops. The mind is part of the soul, but it doesn't know it. There is a sense of journey for the mind as it creeps closer to the soul. Things are real at the quantum.
Say that again.
The mind is part of the soul, but it doesn't know it. There's a sense of journey for the mind as it creeps closer to the soul.
This is very significant. Freedom is, I know that whatever happens in each moment is and always will be fine. We are comfortable with whatever is because we don't have a rigid sense of what we are, who we are, what kind of experience is supposed to happen. So in order for this quantum conscious field to be there, I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't need to know what happens next. So when you look at this, I know whatever happens in each moment always will be fine. Everything, even when shit hits the fan, it is fine, because after shit, it turns into manure and everything grows. So you must always know that there are peaks, and let the peak be there, because it will transcend into something else, where the mind bites into it and we never get to the other side of the mountain because we've stopped it from bleeding, if you wish. Like, stop being afraid of what happens next.